This is synergy. To begin, have a spectator shuffle the cards up as much as they'd like. This trick is 100% completely impromptu. There is no setup. It could use any deck at all. The spectator can shuffle it as much as they want, and the deck doesn't even have to be a full deck. It could be somewhat missing a few cards. It doesn't matter. 100% impromptu. Okay, great. If you shuffle these up thoroughly, great. Max, what I'd like you to do next is go ahead and cut the pack into two. Doesn't matter if they're equal or not. Great. No tricky stuff here. Whichever packet you choose is the one I'm going to use. Which one do you want to use? That's the one we use then. Now, Maxwell, normally you might have a magician let you pick a card out. I don't want to do that. I want to go one step further. I want you to only think of a card, and I want you to note its position here, okay? So I'm going to start leafing through cards one at a time. Simply remember the card and its position, okay? And don't tell me when you see it. I'll keep going past, and then I'll ask you if you've already seen one and thought of one, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Have you thought of one yet? Okay, great. I'm going to put these back down and you remember its position as well. Now, you cut the deck in two. I want you to push out any one of these cards at all that you'd like. Any one at all. I'm going to take this card. I'm going to put it into my pocket. Now, the only thing we know right about now is that the card I'm putting away can't be your card, but it might be very similar. For instance, you might be thinking of a 7 of hearts, and this might be maybe an 8 of hearts or a 7 of diamonds. You never know. We'll put that away in my pocket for the future. I'm going to close these up. Now, for the first time, I want you to tell me, where is the card you're thinking of? Where does it lie?
It's the third card.
It's the third card from the top. Okay, I'm going to deal these out. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to deal your card forward here. Now, I want you to concentrate on your card and go ahead and for the first time name your card out loud.
5 of clubs.
5 of clubs. Go ahead, turn that card over for me. And notice a miracle. You see that card is no longer there because the card you gave me that I put away in my pocket was that 5 of clubs. A true paradox. A true miracle. That's synergy. Totally impromptu. No setup. Do it anytime, anywhere, with any deck somebody hands you. Synergy. Here's the instructional video for synergy. This effect was inspired by Harlan Tarbell's psychological impossibility effect. To begin, you could use any pack of cards at all. It doesn't even need to be a full deck. You let the spectator shuffle it up, cut the pack into two nearly equal piles, but they don't even have to be perfectly equal. As long as there's about 15 or 20 cards in the smaller pile, you're fine. At that point, you're going to have them select which pile to use. So let's say they use this pile. What you're going to do at this point is you're going to tell them to think of any card at all in the pack. Now, while you're patterning, what you're going to do is from the side, or from behind, so you can see this, your right thumb is going to lift up with the flesh on 2 cards and establish a pinky break below the top 2 cards. Lift up, establish a break below the top 2 cards. You can just do this on the offbeat while pattering about them, thinking about any card. You can turn the deck up a little bit. That way, they can't see it. My thumb is lifting up behind, and you can't see it. You can establish a break. Now at this point, you're going to tell them to think of any one of these cards. Your finger is going to reach into a break, very similar to a double lift, and pull out the top card. It's actually the top 2 cards, okay? But you're going to hold them as one. You're going to say 1. Now you don't have to hold that for too long because they might not be perfectly aligned. So you're going to be counting 1. You want to try and hold them as tight as possible at the inner right corner between your thumb, forefinger, middle finger, and ring finger, about. Just like so. Count 1, 2, 3. Now you just keep going as many as you want. Now what I recommend doing is after the first one, count the second one on top of the first one and the third one right on top so that it really masks any depth discrepancies so that they can't ever notice that there aren't really 3 cards there, there's 4, and so on and so forth. You keep going 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right around 10 or 11, I like to say, have you thought of one yet? If they haven't, then you could make a joke, think of one today, or you could just say, well, go ahead and think of one whenever, but I'm running out of cards soon. Just anything along the lines so they will think of one before you run out. So let's say in this case they thought of what they believe to be the 4th card, the 2 of diamonds. Okay? You're going to have those down on the table. You're going to spread the other pile out, and you're going to have them touch any card at all that they'd like. It doesn't matter. Whatever card they take out, whatever card they pick, you put in your pocket. And I like to state the fact that obviously this can't be their card because they're only thinking of a card that's in this pile, but maybe it's similar. So you're starting up the portrayal of the trick. What the effect is that maybe, just maybe, by random they picked out a card that's similar to the one they're merely thinking of in their mind. So then you put it away. At this point you ask them, what position does your card lie at? And let's say they say 4, because that's what they think, because they don't know there was a double, of course. So you're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to deal the 4th card over to them. Now you're going to say, now let's see if they match. For the first time, which card were you merely thinking of? Now 2 things are going to happen at once. They're going to reach over to the card and turn it over. All eyes, all misdirection is going to be on them. They're going to turn over the card which they believe to be their thought of card. What you're going to do at this point is you're going to palm the top card. Now what you need to do here is while you're patterning and you say, which card did you think of? You're going to push the top card over ever so slightly. You're going to push it back and catch a break, a pinky break, below the top card. You're going to bring your right hand over and you're going to palm the top card, their thought of selection. The way that works is using your middle and thumb, you're going to pivot the card up and to the right, ever so slightly, and your pinky at the right corner, as it's being pivoted, is going to push down, and it's going to pop the card right up. So from an exposed view from below, you can see that the card is going to pop right up into the palm. Okay? This is done under the cover of simply squaring the deck. And of course, all eyes are going to be on them as they turn over the card. That's when you execute the palm. At this point, they're going to turn it over and see that the card is gone. You can put the pack down and you can put your hands at your side with the palmed card. Palming cards shouldn't be as scary as you think. Even if you have small hands, even if the card doesn't fit fully in your hand, if your hand is turned sideways, it wouldn't matter if the card was sticking out like so. Even though, I wouldn't recommend doing that, because they can't see it. Your hands are here and they're in a natural, relaxed position. Look, they both look the same, relaxed. At that point, you reach into your pocket, you pull out the palmed card, revealing that the card they placed in your pocket before the start was indeed that selected card, like a paradox. It's a real miracle. It's a very strong trick. You can do it anytime, anywhere. Give it the practice it deserves, learn the timing, learn the misdirection, and it almost appears like a thought of card just jumped into your pocket. That's synergy.